We are live, Calix Boxing here. Thanks to all your subscribers and hit that sub button for nightly boxing videos. Yeah, once again, thank you guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in to me and hope to talk more boxing with y'all. Miguel Cotto versus James Kirkland looks like it's possibly in play, or it is in play for later on this year. Let me pull up the article right here that I pulled up on boxingscene.com. Miguel Cotto versus James Kirkland showdown in play. The pull quote here is Kirkland has been approached about the possibility of fighting former four-division world champion Miguel Cotto in the fall. Cotto has been on the rings, losing Canelo in November, and we all know Kirkland lost to Canelo in a very bad fashion and has been out of the ring since early 2015. So this looks like the Canelo Alvarez losers bracket right here. It's looking like James Kirkland says, I understand Cotto's on vacation, and we've been told that he'll make a decision once he returns. So we're hopeful and optimistic that we'll be able to fight Cotto later this year. Now, here's the interesting thing. He says next, according to Miller, a weight limit of 153 pounds is what we've talked about. Now, I love Cotto. Pause, no homo. He's one of my favorite fighters of the past decade or so. Him and Carl Froch, they're both up there as two of my favorite fighters. But Cotto with these weight limit, with these catch weights, like 153. How do you even? Why not just 154? Like both of these guys have fought at 154. Why not just do 154? Like it seems like Cotto at this point is just making up these weights and saying, I just want to mess with this guy. You know what? I'm going to just tell him 153 just to mess with him. He's just using his A-side power just to do it at this point. Furthermore, in this article, let's get past the weight thing. There were reports that Kirkland is also in the running for a David Lemieux fight. I'm guessing at 160. So they've talked about that, but I'm hoping for the Cotto fight, says James Kirkland's manager. So James Kirkland manager is basically saying that Cotto and Lemieux are both in play, but obviously they want the Cotto fight. And who can blame them? Cotto brings a payday. That being said, of course, people are going to know, what do you think about the fight? I think it is what it is at this point with Cotto. I think he's well past his prime. He's basically signaling at this point, you know, I don't want to be the champ at 160, because if I did, there's a guy who's a champ at 160 right now that nobody wants to fight. So if I wanted to be the champ, I would just fight him. Since I lost the belt to Canelo, I could just go after Triple G at this point. So he's basically saying, I don't want to test the waters at 160 anymore. And who would, with that great white shark of Triple G at 160? Cotto and Canelo are basically staying out of those waters and have been. And he's also saying, I don't want to be the champ at 154, because he's saying, I want to fight at 153. And I can't really blame him for saying, I don't want to be the champ at 154, because the guys at 154 are so boring to me, in my opinion. They don't have much personality. I've said this over and over about the 154-pound division. They have good, solid fighters at 154, and it's a deep division of solid fighters. But you don't have any really good or great fighters there, and you don't have any guys who bring business to the table either. So they don't really bring anything to the table if you want to fight them. So basically, Cotto at this point has to say, I'm either going to fight some guys who had names at one point, a James Kirkland or a Juan Manuel Marquez. They were trying to make that fight, but apparently they couldn't get those guys to agree on things. And I've heard both guys are divas at the negotiation table, so not really a surprise there. So he either has to do that, or he has to pick off guys coming up from 147. That's basically what he's doing at this point in his career. So at this point, I say Rock Nation has overpaid for him. I think they offered him like $32 million per fight or something stupid like that. So it's going to be tough doing business with him at this point. And it never makes sense to sign huge contracts with athletes late in their careers like that. You see people do it all the time in team sports, and offer Kobe Bryant like 30 something million per season when the guy's playing a couple games per season because he can't stay healthy and he's old. At this point with Cotto, it's a different situation than Pacquiao because Pacquiao is the number one guy in his division still. He's the number one guy at 147. So you're going to see him fight top guys in and around his weight class. With Cotto, it's a little different. He's basically signaling that I don't want to be the guy at 160. I've already lost to Canelo, who's the guy at 154 right now. So I just got to get creative and make good fights. So this would be an entertaining fight. So for that, I'm with it. But I don't want to hear in the same breath, even as a Cotto guy, I don't want to hear Cotto say, I want to be the best or I want the best fights out there, because it is what it is at this point. The end game basically with Cotto is, at this point in his career, let's just make entertaining fights and try to get as much money possible out of it. Low risk, high reward, that whole thing again, which I'm not with, but I'm not ordering this pay-per-view. But I'd stream it and I'd watch it on YouTube a week later and hopefully be entertained by it. That's where I'm at with Cotto at this point if he's not going to fight a Triple G or a Canelo. But it is what it is with this fight. Let me know if y'all like it. I was trying to pull up the chat thing for this. I saw it after the last video that I did. I don't know how I see it to see comments as the video is going on. It is what it is with that. But hit me up. Let me know what y'all's comments are, and I'll get back to them later on tonight after the video. Peace.